Door knocking is one of the most interesting problems I've ever faced. To illustrate what I mean, I'll walk you through the entire process. First, you prepare a lot by rereading the scripts multiple times, going through and finding the perfect area, looking through the recent sold transactions in the area, and then getting out there. Then the first door is in front of you. You're totally pumped. You ring the doorbell, and then a giant dog the size of a small elephant jumps out the window and starts barking like crazy. Owner finally comes out after what feels like forever. But because of the dog, they can't hear a word you're saying. So they just shoo you off. After that, go to the next door. No answer. Go to the next door. No answer. Again and again. No answer. Finally, after a countless number of doors, somebody opens the door, and in your surprise, you totally blank on what to say, and you end up saying something stupid. The guy slams the door on you, and you go to the next door. This time, repeating the lines multiple times in your head to make sure you don't forget. Then, the next person opens the door, and you say the lines perfectly without a single mistake, and then you stand there, and they stand there, and a couple seconds go by in silence. And then they tell you they have a hearing problem, so they didn't hear a single word that you said. Imagine this 30 more times. And finally, right when you're about to say this is a hopeless endeavor and you're about to quit, someone opens the door and you have an amazing 30 to 40 minute conversation with them about their property, the neighborhood, and the homes in the area. This is the point you realize it's just a numbers game. That exact thing has been the main lesson in my last few days of lead generation. At first, it really sucks, because all you're doing is getting rejected over and over and over again. But I think David Goggins puts it best. Do a shit ton of whatever makes you feel uncomfortable. You'll get used to it. Since the last video, I was able to join another team. There were a couple of delays, but I was confirmed that I would be joining. And I was able to start doing lead gen about a week ago. Currently, I've done 3 door knock days and 2 cold call days. Of course, I know this is not a substantial amount, but I've learned a lot from these few days. It's most definitely one of those things that you can watch countless hours of videos on, but when you go out there, you realize it didn't teach you anything, and that doing it over and over again is the actual best way to learn. A final thing to note about door knocking is that you will try to trick yourself back into your comfort zone. Even when you prepare yourself with the mindset of persistence and the will to not give up, when you're actually out there sweaty, getting rejected over and over again, your brain will do everything possible to try and make you stop. But you just have to keep going. Consistency is key. You can't quit. From the 2 days of cold calling I did, the first thing I realized is that I have to do more volume. I need to dedicate more time into hitting the numbers as high as possible. As it was, I only really spent a couple hours on each of these days cold calling. I realized that I need to have a 4 to 5 hour lead generation window daily in order to see results. I also learned that Beverly Hills and the surrounding areas have almost no properties that are being sold or leased without an agent. This is a stark contrast to when I was in San Diego, and there were many for sale by owners. So what I learned is that in this area, I can only really call expired listings. Aside from that, I was able to do my first comp on a property. A comp is basically a home value estimate based on similar properties that have sold in the area and similar properties that are currently listed in the area. Essentially, what you're trying to do is compile the information of the current market conditions and come up with an ideal market estimate of a home's value. At first, it felt like a very complicated process with a lot of steps, but as I got more familiar with the process, it was actually pretty fun. For comping, I watched a couple of different videos that I'll link in the description. I'll also link a couple different door knocking channels in the description as well. The past few weeks have been pretty productive. I was able to go to many brokers' opens, start lead generation, and learn a lot more of what it means to be an agent. Along with this, I got badly sick again and went to Mexico. So overall, I've accomplished my goals for the past few weeks. For the next few weeks, my goals are to do more lead generation, get through the learning curve of being an agent, and hold my first open house.